Welcome back to this edition of Lunch Money on BTVi. We've been telling you about Ujjivan Financial Services posting their numbers for the quarter gone by. It's posted a weak set of numbers really for the December quarter. Profits are down now. 44 crores is the number getting reported. Let's decode the earnings for the quarter gone by with the CFO of the company, Sudha Suresh, is joining us. Very warm welcome to the show, Sudha Suresh. I was looking at these numbers. Profits are down, net interest income is down, revenue is down, all of this year on year, and provisions have gone up on a quarterly basis. A lot of pain coming in this quarter. Do put that in perspective for us.
Yes, you're right. We have faced a very challenging time due to the demonetization impact. But nevertheless, we would say that we are in a fairly good position and on a good wicket. We have seen for the quarter definitely a dip in terms of our profitability numbers, essentially due to the add-on on the transition cost of the SFB, which has come in the quarter, as well as on account of the provisioning which we have made on the portfolio which has been affected due to the demonetization. But overall, I think we still stand fairly okay. And at this juncture, we have a gross loan book which is about 6,588 crores and a net portfolio, net of securitization, which stands at about 6,046 crores. In fact, our NIMs are standing at about 13.42 for the 9-month period and at about 13.22 for the quarter. Overall, we have seen the position in terms of how do we manage our portfolio well, and at this juncture, what's the kind of support we have given to our customer, which has been very critical. And in the microfinance business, which is definitely more on a cash run business, how we have managed to facilitate both cashless disbursements, also in terms of cash collections, the new legal currency, and we have still managed to continue on the improved collection efficiency that we have seen across from November, December up to January. And we find that definitely as we see the trend in January, it is encouraging and positive. And we hope that in some time, most of this turns back to normalcy.
Ms. Suresh, you've touched upon this, but just a little bit more of fleshing out on the actual impact that demonetization has had when we specifically look at the collections and disbursements. The current situation as well as how you think that is going to be playing out over the coming quarters.
Okay. So if we look specifically in terms of the collection efficiency, what we saw was during the demonetization period, definitely the customer were subject to difficulties in acquiring the new legal tender. And during November, we did have a collection efficiency which was at about 90%. And over a period of December and January, we have seen that move closer to 95 to 96%. Similarly, in December also, we have seen the collection efficiency, whatever was there. We have been seeing that the customer is able to repay their dues, albeit with a time lag. And overall, what we see is that the customer's intention to repay remains fairly intact. And over a period of time, we hope that we will be able to collect majority of this overdues position, which has been created due to the demonetization. And we will watch this trend over the next few months.
Ma'am, what is...
Having said that,
yes,
we would also like to add that
yes,
though RBI gave us though RBI indicated that we could use a guidance where the assets which were overdue could be classified as standard assets, Ujjivan basically has a conservative provisioning policy, and Ujjivan did take a review of the affected portfolio and nevertheless decided to go ahead and keep a provision specifically for the affected portfolio. And we hope that this is part of both good best practices as well as maybe a conservative stance, but it will stand in good stead. And depending on the kind of collections which come through in the forthcoming months, if there is excess provision that we see, we could always write it back at a later stage.
So just because you have kind of talked about this a little bit, I wanted to understand how your asset quality looked in the quarter. What's the GNPA number in absolute terms, if you can share that with us? You said that people are returning the money that they have borrowed, but there is a lag in that. So have delinquencies worsened in the quarter that's gone by that is getting reported?
Yeah, so what we are looking at is the GNP still stands at 0.25 and we are net NNPA is about 0.05%. Having said that, when we watch the asset quality, as I was indicating, we've always had a 99% kind of a repayment track record. And when we look at the era of demonetization and its impact, we have seen that the collection efficiencies have gone up and it has almost touched up to 95 to 96% for the November overdues. And we hope that this trend continues for both November and December. Overall, we are not seeing, asset quality deterioration, but what we are seeing is the possibility of a time lag in these repayments.
Ms. Suresh, can you give us a sense as to what your plans are when it comes to securitization?
I beg your pardon, can you repeat your question?
What are your securitization plans going ahead?
Okay, so we have, as we indicated, a securitized portfolio of about 540 crores. I think very soon we are transitioning into a bank. So we do have maybe, a couple of transactions in process right now. And probably with that, we will be closing the January books. And it could be somewhere in the range of about 200 crores or around that time.
Sudha Suresh, also now that we are heading into the presentation of the budget, the action shifts from demonetization to remonetization. You maintained a very positive outlook when I started talking to you about the numbers for the quarter gone by. But do tell us, what are the expectations? Do you see a lot of latent demand coming up now, going ahead from here as far as future quarters? How do they look to you?
So what we are looking at, the demand situations could be there, but in terms of our own business and disbursement, probably we will be taking a calibrated approach because we have to see the market trends, both in terms of our business growth and the repayments. And we will take a call in terms of new customer acquisition based on, the kind of track record the respective areas have shown, or the customer base has shown in terms of the collection efficiency and in terms of their repayment track record. Having said that, maybe this quarter we would look at the trend and accordingly look at our disbursement numbers. And we hope that as the quarter goes by, probably the situation could ease a little and move further towards normalcy.
All right. Thank you so much for having made time for us. That's Sudha Suresh. She's the CFO at Ujjivan Financial Services, making time for us right here on Lunch Money. With that, it is a wrap on this edition of the show.
Thanks very much for joining us from Fatima in Delhi, from me here in Mumbai, and the entire team. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.